Have you ever considered what the future of our food system might look like? With the world's population continuing to grow, the need to feed every mouth is driving innovation and change in the way we produce and consume food. The landscape of food production is evolving, and it's not just about growing more crops or raising more livestock. It's about finding sustainable solutions that can meet our nutritional needs without harming the planet. This need for sustainability has led to an increased interest in alternative protein sources. From plant-based proteins to edible insects, a variety of alternatives are gaining traction in the market. But among these, one stands out for its potential to drastically change our food system. This alternative, synthetic meat, has been gaining attention, and not just from scientists and environmentalists. Stay tuned as we delve into the world of synthetic meat, its potential benefits, challenges, and the controversies surrounding it. As we explore this topic, we'll question whether this could be the future of our food system, and what that means for us and our planet. One key player in this field is none other than tech billionaire Bill Gates. Known for his innovative mindset and forward-thinking approach, Gates has recently made quite a splash in the agricultural sector. He's been buying up large swaths of farmland, now owning an impressive 242,000 acres, with his latest acquisition being a cool 2,100 acres in North Dakota. But why, you might ask? What does the co-founder of Microsoft want with all this land? Well, it seems Gates is looking beyond the horizon of our current food system, setting his sights on a future where synthetic meat takes center stage. He's been investing heavily in companies that are pioneering this new form of food production, with a particular focus on reducing the world's reliance on red meat. But Gates isn't just putting his money where his mouth is. He's also been quite vocal about his views on the matter, advocating for a significant reduction in red meat consumption. He believes that by turning away from traditional livestock farming and embracing synthetic substitutes, we could make a substantial dent in the fight against climate change. One of his recent investments is in Windfall Bio, a startup aiming to reduce methane emissions from large cattle farms by using naturally occurring microbes to convert methane into fertilizer. If this technology can be scaled up, it could potentially reduce global temperatures by 0.5 degrees Celsius by 2050. But Gates's vision isn't just about saving the planet. It's also about adapting to a world where plant-based diets are becoming increasingly popular. In 2020, over 9.7 million Americans reported following plant-based diets, a huge leap from the mere 290,000 in 2004. Gates seems to believe that the future of food lies in harnessing the power of plants and technology to create sustainable, nutritious alternatives to traditional meat products. But is this shift towards synthetic meat necessarily a good thing? To evaluate this, we first need to understand the current state of traditional livestock farming. Traditional livestock farming has been the backbone of many rural communities for generations. Beyond that, it's a key part of our global food supply chain. Livestock farming contributes to the livelihoods of about 1 billion people worldwide, many of whom are smallholder farmers in developing countries. It's an occupation that is deeply intertwined with cultural traditions and ways of life that have been passed down through the ages. Livestock farming is not just about the economy. It also plays a crucial role in our diets. Animal-based proteins such as those from beef, pork, and poultry are a primary source of essential nutrients like iron, zinc, and vitamins B12 and A. For many, these traditional proteins are a cornerstone of their daily meals. But it's not just about economics and nutrition. Livestock farming also has a symbiotic relationship with the land. When managed sustainably, grazing animals can contribute to soil health and biodiversity, playing a role in maintaining the balance of our ecosystems. That said, we can't overlook the challenges that come with traditional livestock farming. The environmental footprint is significant. Livestock farming is responsible for around 14.5% of all human-induced greenhouse gas emissions. It's a major contributor to deforestation, as land is cleared to create grazing areas and grow feed crops. There's also the question of animal welfare. Intensive farming practices can result in cramped and stressful living conditions for the animals, raising ethical concerns. The overuse of antibiotics in farming is another issue, leading to antibiotic resistance, which is a growing public health concern. And then there's the issue of resource efficiency. The conversion of plant-based feed into animal protein is inherently inefficient. To produce just 1 pound of beef, it can take anything from 4 to 25 times the amount of feed, depending on the farming system and the type of feed used. Clearly, traditional livestock farming has its pros and cons. It's a complex, multifaceted issue that needs to be approached with care. As we look towards the future of our food system, we need to weigh these factors and consider how we can best meet the needs of our growing global population, while also protecting our planet and ensuring the welfare of the animals that are part of our food system. Now, let's turn to synthetic meat. Synthetic meat, also known as cultured or lab-grown meat, is a food innovation that's been gaining quite a bit of traction lately. The concept is intriguing. It's about producing meat from animal cells, without the need to raise and slaughter animals. This novel approach could potentially transform our food system, offering an alternative that's more sustainable and humane. Let's delve into the benefits first. In terms of environmental impact, synthetic meat could be a game changer. Livestock farming, as we've discussed earlier, contributes significantly to greenhouse gas emissions. Synthetic meat production, on the other hand, could dramatically reduce these emissions. Moreover, it could lessen the strain on our natural resources, as producing synthetic meat requires less land, water, and energy compared to traditional livestock farming. There's also the animal welfare angle. With synthetic meat, we could potentially eliminate the need for factory farming, a practice often criticized for its ethical implications. By producing meat in labs, we could sidestep the contentious issues of animal cruelty and antibiotic overuse. But it's not all sunshine and roses. There are concerns and challenges that need to be addressed. First, there's the matter of taste and texture. While advances are being made, replicating the exact taste, texture, and nutritional profile of traditional meat is no easy task. Ensuring that synthetic meat can satisfy the palates of discerning consumers is crucial for its acceptance and success. And then there are questions about the long-term health effects of consuming synthetic meat. While it's produced from animal cells, it's still a novel food product, and we're yet to fully understand its long-term impact on human health. More research is needed in this area to dispel any doubts and ensure consumer safety. Finally, there's the issue of cost. Currently, synthetic meat is quite expensive to produce, which could make it less accessible and affordable for many people. However, as with any new technology, it's expected that costs will decrease as the technology matures and scales up. Synthetic meat, too, presents a mix of potential benefits and drawbacks. It's an exciting development, no doubt, and could play a significant role in our future food system. But like any innovation, it needs to be approached with a balanced view, taking into account not just the potential benefits, but also the challenges and concerns. After all, when it comes to our food, it's not just about sustainability and efficiency, but also about taste, health, and affordability. So how do these two methods of meat production stack up against each other? Let's delve into a side-by-side comparison of traditional livestock farming and synthetic meat production, considering potential environmental, economic, and health impacts of a large-scale shift towards synthetic meat. Starting with the environmental perspective, traditional livestock farming has long been a significant contributor to greenhouse gas emissions, particularly methane, a potent climate change driver. It also necessitates extensive land use, often leading to deforestation and biodiversity loss. On the other side of the coin, synthetic meat production promises a lighter environmental footprint. For instance, it's reported that the startup Windfall Bio is developing a method to convert methane into fertilizer, potentially reducing global temperatures by 0.5 degrees Celsius by the year 2050. However, it's not all rosy. Synthetic meat production requires substantial energy, potentially leading to increased carbon emissions if this energy is not sourced sustainably. Additionally, the disposal of waste products from synthetic meat factories could pose new environmental challenges. Now, let's talk economics. Traditional livestock farming is a major global industry, providing employment for millions. A shift towards synthetic meat could disrupt these livelihoods, especially in developing countries where livestock farming is a critical economic lifeline. In contrast, synthetic meat production could stimulate job growth in new sectors, such as biotechnology and renewable energy. But the question remains, will these new jobs be accessible to those displaced from traditional farming? On to health impacts. The consumption of red meat has been linked to various health issues, including heart disease and certain types of cancer. Synthetic meat could potentially be engineered to be healthier, with lower levels of saturated fats and higher levels of essential nutrients. But as with any new technology, long-term effects are unknown. Could there be unforeseen health implications with synthetic meat? Only time will tell. Moreover, we must consider food security. Livestock farming has proven resilient in the face of environmental variations, while the infrastructure for synthetic meat production is untested on a large scale. Could we be trading one set of vulnerabilities for another? And let's not forget the cultural and personal aspect. Meat consumption is deeply rooted in many cultures and traditions. Can synthetic meat satisfy these emotional and cultural ties to food, or will it be seen as an alien, unappetizing substitute? As we can see, the debate between traditional livestock farming and synthetic meat production is complex and multifaceted. It's not a clear-cut choice between good and bad, but a weighing of trade-offs and uncertainties. It's a conversation that involves our environment, our economy, our health, our food security, and our very culture. As we move forward, it's crucial that we navigate this transition thoughtfully and inclusively, considering the diverse needs and perspectives of all stakeholders. But beyond the environmental and health impacts, what about the social implications? This question prompts us to delve deeper into the potential social impacts of a shift towards synthetic meat. The livelihoods of farmers and communities that depend on livestock farming could be significantly affected. Picture this: a world where traditional livestock farmers are no longer needed because synthetic meat has taken over the market. That's a world where generations of knowledge, culture, and tradition could be lost in the blink of an eye. This change wouldn't just affect farmers either. Think of the rural communities that revolve around farming. These communities would face a massive upheaval as their economic backbone disappears. Jobs would be lost, businesses would close, and communities could even vanish. But it's not just about economics. Livestock farming is deeply intertwined with many cultures around the world. From the Maasai in East Africa to the Gauchos in South America, livestock farming is more than just a job. It's a way of life, a part of their identity. Shifting to synthetic meat could disrupt these cultural practices and traditions, causing a loss of cultural diversity. And let's not forget about food security. While synthetic meat could potentially feed more people, it also centralizes food production. This could leave us vulnerable to disruptions in the supply chain, whether due to technological issues, natural disasters, or even geopolitical conflicts. However, it's important to remember that change isn't inherently bad. It's how we manage it that counts. If we're to make this shift, we need to ensure that it's done in a way that supports those most affected. This could mean providing training for farmers to transition into new roles, investing in rural communities to diversify their economies, and safeguarding cultural practices. The social implications of this shift cannot be ignored. As we move forward, we need to consider all the potential impacts of our food choices, not just on our health or the environment, but on our society as a whole. So where does this leave us in terms of the future of our food system? As we've seen, the issue is a complex one. On one hand, we have traditional livestock farming, a practice as old as human civilization itself. It's a system that has fed billions over the centuries, but it's also one that comes with its own set of environmental and ethical challenges. Livestock farming, especially on a large scale, contributes to greenhouse gas emissions, deforestation, and water pollution. It also raises questions about animal welfare and the efficient use of resources. On the flip side, we have the burgeoning industry of synthetic meat production. This is a world of science and innovation where meat is grown in labs and not on farms. The potential benefits are compelling: reduced environmental impact, no animal welfare issues, and a secure and potentially limitless supply of meat. But synthetic meat is not without its own set of challenges. There are questions about taste, texture, and most importantly, public acceptance. Will people be ready to swap their steaks and burgers for lab-grown alternatives? And what about the farmers and communities who depend on traditional livestock farming for their livelihoods? Then there's the Bill Gates factor. As one of the world's richest and most influential people, Gates' interest in synthetic meat and his investments in this sector could be a game-changer. But it's important to remember that Gates' vision is just one of many. The future of our food system will not be determined by one person or one company, but by all of us: farmers, scientists, policymakers, and consumers. So where does this leave us? The truth is, there's no easy answer. The future of our food system is a complex puzzle that we're only just starting to piece together. It will require more research, more discussion, and more innovation. It will also require us to confront some hard truths about our current food system, and to be open to new and potentially uncomfortable alternatives. As we look towards the future, it's clear that the choices we make about our food system will have far-reaching impacts. These choices won't just affect what we eat, but also how we live, how we interact with our environment, and what kind of world we leave for future generations. It's a big responsibility, but it's also an exciting opportunity. Because in the end, the future of food is not just about sustenance, but also about sustainability, ethics, and innovation. It's about creating a food system that nourishes us, without compromising the health of our planet or the welfare of its inhabitants. As we look towards the future, it's clear that the choices we make about our food system will have far-reaching impacts. As we wrap up, let's reflect on the question we started with. What might the future of our food system look like? We've delved into the intricacies of traditional livestock farming, the rise of synthetic meat production, and the potential impact of these shifts on society as a whole. The reality is, the future of our food system is still being written. It's a story that will be shaped not only by technological advancements and environmental considerations, but also by the choices we make as consumers. Each one of us holds a piece of the puzzle. Consider what we've discussed about Bill Gates's vision for reducing the population of cows and promoting the consumption of synthetic meat. While it's a proposition that carries the potential to significantly reduce greenhouse gas emissions, it also raises questions about the economic and social implications for those who rely on traditional livestock farming. Yet it's also important to bear in mind the rise of plant-based diets and the growing movement towards more sustainable food choices. Companies like Aloha are demonstrating that it's possible to create high-quality, nutritious food products that are good for both our bodies and the planet. So, as we look towards the future, let's not be passive observers. Let's be active participants. Let's continue to ask questions, seek out information, and make conscious, informed decisions about the food we eat. Remember, our food choices don't just affect us individually, they have a ripple effect, influencing the health of our communities, our economies, and our planet. In the end, the future of our food system will be defined by a myriad of factors, some of which are within our control, and others that are not. But one thing is certain, the choices we make today will shape the world of tomorrow. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of the future of our food. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed.